It's been a few months since the last time I posted a video for Water Tanks, and I kind of want to give a quick explanation as to why that was. So, the reason for it summarised is because of my internet connection. So, the lockdown situation hit that I'm sure everybody is familiar with, and for me, it effectively meant that my internet connection went from being usable to being useless. So the reason for that is because everybody in my area, practically at all times, was on the internet. I tried from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. and vice versa, and the internet just would not give me like a decent ping. It just could not do it for me. Like I even tried a few times at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, didn't work. Just would not give me a ping below 999. There was just nothing I could do. And I even checked at those times in the morning. There was nothing else in my house connected to the internet. I just couldn't. It just couldn't support the game. It just couldn't do it. So yeah, I pretty much had to shelve the game for about 3 months, and it's only over this last like 4 or 5 days where the game's actually sort of been usable again. I just hadn't had time to record up until now. But I'm going to try and play a game here, because I am very, very rusty and I kind of want to get used to the game again. So I'm going to play one of these vehicles, but I haven't quite decided which one I want to play yet. So I decided to jump into the Sherman 5C because this vehicle is a fairly high penetration tier 6 premium medium, and it's one which I think is pretty decent for the most part. I don't think it has a particularly good like part weight ratio. That's one thing I do remember being a pretty significant weakness of this vehicle. But the penetration, the alpha damage, the DPM and all do seem to be fairly good. And one thing I was actually looking at, because I did pick these just like for tier 6 premium mediums, is I was comparing them, and I think the Brittany Panther I think is the sort of middle ground. So I guess you could consider this thing to be either the Pool or the Brittany Panther. They're kind of like the middle grounds as far as tier 6 premium mediums go. And then you have the Thunderbolt, which it's decent, don't get me wrong, but when you compare it directly to its, in my opinion, main competitor, the T3045M, it's not even a question as to which one's better. Because the T3045M, it has a higher DPM, it has better frontal armor. Like, I know the armor number is worse on the 85M, but the effective armor on this thing, as far as I recall, is actually better than the Thunderbolt. It has a higher top speed, better part weight ratio, and the only disadvantages that the 85M has in comparison to the Thunderbolt is that it can't have a vertical stabilizer, which isn't the biggest deal, and it has 30 less health. Those are the only two which I can think of. I can't think of any other real significant weaknesses this thing has in comparison to the Thunderbolt, because the Thunderbolt has a worse DPM, worse penetration, worse alpha damage. It's a slower vehicle, and it has and it just doesn't really have any significant advantages. Oh yeah, that was the other one. It has better gun depression than the 85M, but yeah, I'm actually not going to be playing any of those vehicles right now, so I don't know why I'm going so much detail on them. But let's just see, do I have, yeah, I do have a camo on this thing. So let's jump into the Firefly 5C and see how this goes. So I'll be honest with you, like when it comes to the Firefly that we originally had at tier 6 as a medium tank in the English line, I really would have preferred if it had this hull instead of the one we got, because the sort of standard Sherman, or I guess the Sherman Mark 1 hull, it's such a common thing to see in the game in comparison to the later generation of hulls, because the Sherman 3. Then there's the well, I'll just go through them as far as I recall them. So the Sherman 3 and I think the Easy 8 are the only two which really use like a sort of updated Sherman hull. Meanwhile, like things like the M4 Rev, the M4A1, there's that tier 6 French medium tank one as well, which I can't think of the name of, which is I believe based off of the M4A1 as well. And there's another one which I'm struggling to think of, but there's like a ton of M4A1s in the game, but there are comparatively few like later generations of the M4, which it's something I just find kind of weird because it's such a bizarre thing to me that like the Sherman, the tier 5 Sherman like hull, you can play it with it at tier 8 and you can also play with it at tier 6. It's such a strange thing. And then let's see. Okay, so my view range has been fairly helpful here. I think I've technically stolen the spotting from the light tank that's next to me, but okay, I actually overlaid that shot. I didn't get spotted there, surprisingly. Also, I've just noticed me and the C-71 are the only ones on this flank. I'm gonna fire that shot and then we'll leave, because we are the only ones here. And being the only ones on that flank only ever ends poorly for the lower number of players. So hopefully that T-71 follows behind me here in a minute, but yeah, I don't really want to sit there and get rushed. So I'm going to try and hopefully support the T-71 if he starts falling back, but I'm not going to be in the thick of the action because, oh, that's just not what this vehicle is built for. Yep, and there goes Panther 2, and there's a Skoda T25. Can I see this guy? Whoops, did not get that shot lead right. I actually don't even know. Do I have success on this thing or not? I actually don't even know. Let's finish that guy off. Hopefully fire some shots off towards this Panther 2. There's an easier to pen target there. Nope, never mind, can't see him. Okay, hit that guy but didn't pen him. Let's see, can I still see this guy? Okay, that shot, just don't know where the hell that went. Managed to finish him off at least. Panther 2 though is the main concern right now. Actually, the Panther 2 fell back, interestingly. Like, we did fire off some shots there, but didn't really manage to do much in terms of damage, just because of the way that wound up playing out. I did have some opportunities for doing damage, but it just, like, the opportunities just weren't the best. And I'm being fairly ballsy here and just sort of crossing over like this. But as far as I recall, I do have 6th Sense on this crew. I should be aware if someone does try to like, spot me. Another question is, what the hell was it that was over there? I don't remember. Because the Panther 2 went down, or well, I should say went over to the other side of the map. So what the hell is it that's over here? I don't remember seeing anything else that went across there. Oh, right, nice one. Probably should have guessed it was the nice one. Let me see. I actually didn't get spotted there as well. And let's try and focus this guy. Nice. Okay, so really useful to have the artillery dead there as well. And let's just try and fall back into the cover. Nope, never mind. Artillery, I think, must have been premium to an extent to be able to get that shot off there and actually hit me. So let's try and just get into the cover of the buildings here for a second, just because, well, with tier 6, like, even though I do have a lot more health than I used to, because I believe this thing used to have around 750 health. Like, having an extra 90 health does feel pretty good, but it's one of those things where, like, you have extra health, but you don't want to get too carried away. Oh wow, okay, cool, I'll take that. It's casual ammo rack on an M44. Wasn't even a HE shell either, which is pretty nice. But looking out here, I actually think we may need a cap. Just looking out there, like, they have an OHO and a Panther 2 and Borsix in front of them. We only have a 1 tank advantage. STRVS1 is my main concern now. Actually, STRV went over there. Okay. So they have 3 tier 8s against, well, me and this T71 who are tier 6 and 7 respectively. So, yeah, we need to hope we can cap fast enough, because otherwise, like, they're gonna stomp us into the ground. Will that Panther 2 be quick enough? Because I have a feeling he will. I think he will be quick enough. Which will be catastrophic if he is. But this was honestly the best thing we could do. Come on, come on, come on, 3 seconds. He messed up a shot. Okay, we won. Okay, so we got really lucky there. But, yeah. That was so close. That guy was so quick. Like, I knew the Panther 2 that was going to be really close, but damn, that was a lot closer than I was expecting it to be, because that guy, he messed up that shot. He was so close to, like, win that first team there, just by getting that one shot into either of us. And I actually came top of the team. That's nice. I'll take that. And actually, wait, did I do the most damage? Yeah, I did the most damage of my team, which is interesting. But yeah, that was a fairly just random game. Like, that game wasn't particularly, like, good or anything like that there. It was just a sort of just random game, just me getting used to the game again.